Hello everyone, I'm JC, and as of very recently, I have been really into playing the game Ghost of Tsushima, with playing the game, doing the side quests, the main story, and the DLC. Really good game. And I've also been really into the zombie media also, like The Walking Dead, The Last of Us, and I thought to myself, what if I both combined feudal Japan with zombies and make the best of both worlds? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Please like and subscribe and enjoy the video. During the Sengoku period in 1543, the first 3 European foreigners shipwrecked on the island of Tanegashima. After a couple weeks of them being on the island, one of the foreigners would fall very ill and start to attack the people living there, running at full speed and biting the civilians of the island. Soon, this sickness would start to spread all around the island and even to the mainland, making Japan fall into even more chaos than it was already in. The shogun would try and keep everything in order, but it was already too late. Daimyos fell, towns collapsed, and soon would be the fate of the shogun. One night, as the shogun was asleep, hordes of the sick piled themselves on top of each other, eventually climbing over the palace walls, that being the end of the shogun. A master of his blade and senses, said many, and others called him the best bodyguard to ever protect the shogun. Many of the people of Japan praised Ronin for his hard work and dedication to protect the shogun, from daimyos and assassins trying to kill him. Even the shogun himself was impressed with Ronin's skills, but Ronin was a very prideful person, and at times he could be disrespectful. He would always boast about his treasures and make a big deal about how skilled he was, going so far as to blindfold himself in battle. Ronin lived a good and wealthy life as a shogunate bodyguard for at least 6 years, until one of Ronin's brothers, Senshi, who is said to be one of the most feared daimyos across all of Japan, for his speed with the blade and well-strategized planning. Senshi decided to try and overrule the shogunate and invaded the palace. With this being heard, the shogun decided to have his army protect him from the palace gates, and he had Ronin with him so he could be protected if anything happened. After a long fight on the palace grounds, Senshi came through the palace doors and came face to face with his brother. The shogun would sit and watch as the two brothers fought tirelessly, exchanging gruesome blows to each other. Eventually, Ronin would get cocky, and Senshi would find an opening, stabbing Ronin in his side. Ronin fell to his knees and collapsed on the floor. Senshi would walk up to the shogunate and end him. Senshi would become the new shogunate and rule Japan for about a year, until the shogun's nephew came and overthrew Senshi and retook his rightful place as the shogun. Senshi would ultimately escape from the shogun and evade his execution. During this time, though, Ronin took time to recover from his wounds and reflect on his mistakes. Eventually, Ronin would get a message from the shogun. The message stated that Ronin would have to make it to the palace before sundown, so he could attend his seppuku ceremony. Ronin would have went if his brother wasn't still alive. Ronin would refuse to die unless his brother was dead first. So from then on, Ronin would be a wanted fugitive from the shogun and continue to pursue his brother until he was dead. A shinobi, a father, and a foe to many. There was a man named Kenji who worked for the shogun as a spy to go into rivaling daimyo states and gather information on them. Kenji would gather very important info most of the time, like battle plans or letters being sent between daimyos. Most of the time, he would be hiding in the rafters for days, months, sometimes it would take him a year or two. Kenji was always efficient in his job though, never being spotted or having to intercede. The shogun would treat Kenji very well, giving him a house and riches. Not long after though, Kenji would have a son, and they would name him Jin. Jin would be raised very differently than most kids. He was constantly being taught how to hide in places like roofs, floorboards, and walls. His father would even teach him how to incapacitate people at 5 years old. But unlike his father, Jin's mother would always teach him to be kind, caring, to everything and everyone. After his father was very old and weary, Jin, already in his early 20s, decided to take his father's job as a spy for the shogun. But sadly, news would spread of the shogun's fall from the most powerful daimyo in Japan. Panic would arise in all of Japan, but thankfully the shogun's nephew would overrule the daimyo lord and his troops and regain power in the lands. So the panic was short-stayed. The new shogun would rehire Kenji's family and take Jin as a personal spy. But sadly, that would involve Jin to leave everything he cared about, including his parents. Kenji would eventually convince Jin to leave. Before Jin was to leave, his mother would tell him to never let his heart be hardened by the world, no matter what happens in his life. That he would stay her kind little boy. Sadly, a day before Jin's departure, his mother got sick. Jin would postpone his departure and decide to stay home with his mother until she got better. In those days of his mother being ill, Senshi, the daimyo that escaped his execution, decided to infiltrate the family estate, bringing it burning to the ground. Jin and his parents were dragged to the front of the yard. He was tied to a tree as he watched his parents being burned on stakes. It was a terrible experience. The way he described it was only able to be expressed in the form of a poem. Their screams were like screams of hell, and their squirms were as of a worm trying to escape the beak of a bird. Their tears were like rivers, yet their souls rest peacefully up high. After the incident, the only thing he could remember was the words she told him the day before. Don't let the world harden your heart, no matter what happens. Stay my kind little boy. From that day on, Jin set out to go protect those being oppressed by Senshi and his army, and continue to live out his life as a protector. Not so long after the sickness broke out into Japan, Jin would meet Ronin, starving on the side of a bloodstained path. Jin shared his food with Ronin and offered Ronin to join him on his journey to the south. Ronin, not in the best of situations at the moment, agreed to join Jin in his journey. From then on, Ronin and Jin would grow to be not just friends, but brothers. Now, this is a very interesting sickness, and not like the cold or the flu. No, this one takes your body and turns it into a very distorted creature. For stage 1 of the sickness, you'll be pretty conscious, but you won't be able to control your body. What we do know, though, is that your sense of smell will be heightened, your strength will be able to lift horses, and your speed, you'll be able to run as fast as a horse. But also, you'll still have consciousness, and the pain in your body as it starts to grow and elongate will be unbearable. Granted, the sickness only makes you grow a couple more inches though. Many said they would see the sick cry, tear up, and scratch at their body. And all of your senses have been heightened, and you no longer have consciousness. We've studied the final form of this sickness, and many of them hunt in packs. They'll always try to coerce other travelers to stay away from a group so they could pick them off one by one. We aren't sure about what type of sickness this is, but we're certainly trying to find out about it. As of right now, many people have already went to the south and got on boats and went over to the far lands. But as for us who are still on the main island, we're still gonna try and figure out what type of sickness this is. Thank you to everyone who made it to the end of the video, and hope you guys enjoyed hearing these backstories for my characters I made. If you guys do want this to get turned into some sort of webtoon of sorts, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes at least. But without further ado, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ow.